Hi there, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a nice kind of lush techno-y chord, like good for deep techno or dub techno in FM8. This is the sound we're going to be making today. So there's a glimpse of the MIDI notes that I've got playing. It's quite important really to take note of that because I've basically just got a riff playing across 3 octaves. I can mute out the top and mute it back in again, and that provides the lead to it. But just having those 3 octaves of the notes playing kind of enhances the sound, makes it nice and rich. So let's go ahead and create a new sound, and we're going to start by programming all the operators here. So start with F is already wired to the output. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to wire it into the filter, and then route that to the output. And F is going to be a sawtooth wave, and going to change this to 2.5, but just a little bit less, 2.46, just so it's a bit slightly detuned, and turn on oscillator E, route that to the filter as well. The ratio is going to stay at 1, and this is going to be a triangle wave, and similar thing for D, route it to the filter, but D we're going to have this 1+3. It's going to give us a nice rich sound. I'm going to put this at 2.5 as well, and turn on C, route that to the filter again. C is going to be a sine wave, stays like a sine wave. We're going to take the ratio up to 5 though, just to give it a bit more of a high-pitched kind of sound on the C operator. And I'm going to key sync all of these 4 operators as well. So each time the key's pressed, the oscillators or operators will kind of like restart, which give us a nice consistent sound. And then I'm going to turn on B and route that to the filter again. But B, we're going to have a sine wave again, but we're going to take this up to 6. So our sound is already quite nice and rich sounding. I'm going to leave the key sync of B off just to give a bit more of a free running sound with that operator. You'll see why shortly when we start kind of modulating this operator a little bit. So I'm just going to feed back some of these operators as well, just feed them into themselves. Don't go too crazy with these values here because you'll start to get just a really sort of kind of distorted sort of high frequency tone, and just it's just enriching the sound a little bit. And I'm also going to turn on the noise oscillator or operator X. I'm not going to turn this up to 100 like I did with the other operators. I'm going to turn it up to about 44, which will just bring a bit of white noise into the signal. So that's our operators set up. What we're going to do next is start doing a bit of set up the envelopes and then some modulation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set up the envelopes now for these operators, starting with the envelope for operator B. I'm going to drag the sustain out a little bit, so just kind of the notes held a little bit longer, give it a little bit of release, but I'm going to back off the attack, and just so it's just a much more of a softer attack really on this operator. I think something like that will be fine. And then what I'm going to do is for the rest of the operators, including the noise and filter operators, I want the same envelope. So what I'm going to do is highlight C and click on the link button, and then all these envelopes are going to be locked together basically, and just quite a simple envelope really. Just going to drag the sustain out, give it a little bit of release, and pull the sustain level down a little bit, the decay and stuff, so it's sort of tails off a little bit, take the attack down a little bit. Okay, and start modulating now. Right. Okay, so what we've done here with this modulation is, do it again, we've actually got the LFO and I'm modulating the volume of operator B to give the operator B a little bit of a sort of wobble. So it's the attack's gonna slowly kind of come in. It's gonna be a lazy attack on that operator, but also a little wobble. And also LFO is modulating the pitch to give us a little bit of a vibrato. So if we open the filter out, so you can see here we've got a nice fixed sound, but what we've done with the operator B is it's got a slow attack and then it comes in and it's got a little bit of a sort of wobble or LFO on it to just give it some nice sort of movement. So let's go ahead and start fattening the sound up here. If we go onto the master section, what we can do here is increase the voices to 8. Straight away the sound just gets really nice and rich. Pan some of those voices out so they're not all sort of directly in the middle of the kind of stereo field. And also this analog slider will help give the sound a more of a kind of rich sort of flavour. Right, okay, so now we can move on to the effects, and I'm just going to put a shelving EQ in and just boost some of the high frequencies there on this sound. And give some reverb just to give the sound a bit of space. Maybe take the reverb time down a little bit and push the brightness and the treble up to just give a bit of a nicer sort of top end on the reverb. And the last effect is the chorus delay, and I'm not going to sync this or anything. Take the time up. Take the dry wet down, mix down a little bit, and I've pushed the feedback up a bit. Take the low cut of the delay out a little bit and maybe just take some of the top end off with this high cut. Push the diffusion up. And it just helps with this reverb. It's almost like a slapback delay really, because I've not got the sync on or anything. It's just quite a nice tight. So that's the effects sorted. So last couple of things to set up really is just the noise oscillator or operator X, and open the filter back out again. So it's just gonna bring a bit of sort of white noise into the sound. Don't want to go too high with that amp there, just so you can hear a nice little sort of crisp top end on the sound really. Take the level down here, the saturator down a little bit so it's not distorting too much. And then for the filter section, this envelope amount is currently at 0, so it's not actually been controlled by this envelope that we set for it before. So I'm going to turn that up to full. And we've just got to control the envelope control, take the link off, and then we want to start controlling the filter the sound a little bit more. You know, we can start giving it a bit more of a plucky kind of character if we wanted to do that. So that's the sound pretty much done really. So if I unsolo that. there's our sound, a kind of deep dubby techno chord stab in FM8. So thanks for watching this video, and if you've got any suggestions for future videos moving forwards on FM8 that you'd like to see, then just give us a shout and let us know, and we'll get that sorted for you. Alright, thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.